Welcome to the HohO Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Kata Studio, so welcome to the HohO Show, and as always, I am your host, HohO. So welcome everybody, welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook, and hello, Miss Linda over there in Spreaker land. How are you doing? And yes, I've missed being a crap. I forgot to do something. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Ray?
Yes. Hi, everybody. He forgot something, apparently, so let me fill in some time real quick and ask how everybody is doing today. Yes, it is Sunday. It's not the usual Saturday because things happen and people get busy and life happens, but, work sucks, yes. So we're here on a Sunday afternoon. So feel free to call in. What's that phone number? Something. He's not ready yet, but he will give you that phone number here in a second. International callers call one first. How you doing? I'm
good.
You ready? You good?
Yeah, I'm back, meow. So, yeah. All right, yeah. That call-in number is 217-965-6133 for anybody who wants to call in and be part of the madness.
And yes, it is some madness.
Linda put in here, she goes, if you must know, here in Idaho, I have discovered the heat. Your energy will deplete. It must be getting hot. Dude, it's been hot here. Like humid. Holy crap. Yeah. I mean, it's...
I've said before, it can get really hot, and I'm fine with that. But once that humidity gets up, it's hard to breathe.
It sticks on you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder to get cool because, the higher humidity. See, here's the thing, guys. All right, the little biology lesson. When you sweat, that doesn't cool you off. It's when the water evaporates off your skin, taking the heat with it. That's when it cools you down. So if it's high humidity, it can't evaporate and you stay hot. I don't know why I just gave him a biology lesson. I have no idea. Anyway.
But good job, though.
Yeah, thank you. I do what I can, and you're welcome. So,
It is Sunday, though.
It is Sunday. And guys, I tell you what, it's been almost a month.
Month tomorrow,
just about a month. I mean, it's been like, I've been so busy. It's been crappy. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about, though, guys. I mean, so if y'all want to head on over to after the show, whatever, or whatever, to the HoHoShow.com. In the newsfeed tab, you can see my magazine for Flipboard, which is my go-to hub, my one-stop shop for anything, everything, and all things news. I love it. All kinds of stuff is in there, and we're just going to go ahead and start diving into it. So,
a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Now, for those of you that have not been paying attention to the COVIDs, I love talking about the COVIDs, and we're going to get into it a little bit. I mean, not like a lot. Like the whole show is not going to be COVIDs. But there's a couple things that I want to touch base on, okay? Now, for anybody who has any doubt that none of this has any basis in what we like to call reality, all you got to do is pay attention to the headlines of what has happened recently. The states and hospitals and whatnot are no longer reporting their COVID numbers to the CDC. Now they are reporting them to Washington. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And you think that this isn't political, that this isn't a jive at the president. There's an old saying, the proof is in the pudding. The Jell-O pudding pops, that's where the proof is. And for this to be happening just should be evidence and proof to everybody that this has no basis in reality. It's political. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Linda put in here that July 5th lost another in-law her age in assisted living to the virus. And, and here's the thing, guys. I'm not saying that the virus isn't real.
No.
We know that the virus is, obviously. We know the age group and that it hits most. We know the people whom it doesn't really affect at all. And we know that the highest at risk for not just getting sick and having bad symptoms, but are those with pre-existing health conditions, upper respiratory issues already, autoimmune deficiencies already. These are people whom are susceptible, whom need to be doing things like quarantining and everything else. And these are the ones who need to be careful. That and being, over the age of 60, 70.
65, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. That's what we already know. And we've known this since put near day one. Since the numbers started coming out from China, we knew this.
Right.
These are some of the things that were coming out then.
And as I said, when that first came out, a show a long time ago when this first came out, besides Linda, I had a distant relative here that died of COVID-19, directly related to COVID-19. She was in assisted living, but she was in what they considered her to be in good health, nothing going on at the time, and she died of COVID-19 straight out. So right. I just want everybody to know that no matter what we say here, it has affected my family personally too. It's just that the way the world works is politicians and groups of people will take something legit and hijack it and make it into something for their own purposes. And that's what we're getting to here, I believe.
Exactly. And that actually reminded me of, something, an article that I seen, and I've got to actually find that article. Because I've got so many there's 62. Yeah, 62 stories in here of stuff that is going to be referenced in this show. This is probably going to be a 2-hour freaking long
5-hour show.
Not a 5-hour show.
You can do it.
But I got to find it, though, because I didn't order this one absolutely correct. And this one, I tell you what, this was laughable. I mean, it really was. It was laughable because of what was said, the implications, and it was like, are you kidding me? And, of course, now I can't find it.
And while you're looking for that, just for an update, my federal lawsuit against Illinois Governor Pritzker is still on file, but I have not received any communication from the court as far as any court date or anything going on, if anybody was wondering about that. And State Representative Darren Bailey won his case in circuit court, but the governor's office is saying it doesn't count until it goes through the appellate, which is supposed to go to the appellate here shortly, I think within the next few weeks, hopefully. But a lot of game playing between the governor's office and people.
Right.
So.
And Linda also put in here that he caught it from his care worker who came in sick. And people whom are working with the elderly and are assisted care people, you need to stay away from those who are more susceptible. Mm-hmm. Now, based off of that, actually, and Linda just gave an amazing segue into this article out of Red State. That was totally the wrong button.
Glad you're not in charge of the nukes. That's all I got to say.
Out of Red State, Dr. Fuki, whatever, however you pronounce his name, proclaims that New York did it correctly. Now, if you guys remember correctly, okay, he is the one who were putting COVID-positive patients in assisted living places, in nursing homes and of the like, without them being prepared whatsoever. No type of isolation, no proper ventilation in order to keep the sick ventilation separate from the non-sick ventilation, causing some of the huge numbers that they had in New York. Okay? And he's saying, and remember, this isn't political, right? That they did it correctly. And they wonder why, everybody is questioning his credibility. Because, his credibility is shot, okay? Yeah. If you're going to stand there and tell me that going to church is bad, but yet the thousands of people that protest, and you're not going to get COVIDs from protesting because the virus itself is woke. Okay.
But you will going to the beach, though. That's
yeah, you'll get it going to the beach. You'll get it going on a jet ski, but you won't get it, like, exercising.
Or trampling on a police car.
Right. Yeah. And they're trying to say that this is not anything.
Would you see the article? I should have brought that up to you before, where he supposedly says in 2017, right after Trump gets into office, about how Trump is going to get a surprise disease or something going on later.
Really?
Yeah. I have to look that up and send that to you. But he's got ties with the Wound Lab, and so does Bill Gates, and there's all kinds of weird connections going on. And,
right.
Yeah, it just makes you go,
And also, speaking of, and this is a thing too, guys. I mean, this is so much trampling of our constitutional rights and a lot of other stuff. And yeah, the virus is woke. But this headline is out of Insider. And I don't know if y'all have seen this article, heard this, whatever, but this to me, again, was just irritating. Ticked me off. I don't know if it ticked you off. Yeah. I don't know if it ticked anybody else off. But a Kentucky couple refused to sign the self-quarantine papers after testing positive for the coronavirus, and now they have to wear ankle monitors. They are under house arrest, like completely. See, what happened was, all right, they were about to take a trip to Michigan to see, like, her relatives, some of them being elderly, and she wanted to see if this would be something that she would be able to do. She didn't want to get them sick because elderly, susceptible people, you should stay away from them. So she did the responsible thing and got herself tested. Symptom-free. She hasn't had any issues. None of the family has. And she was like, I'm not signing this because they're basically telling me that I have to go through them if anything happens, my symptoms change, my health, anything health of me related changes. She's like, I'm not doing that because if I need to go to the hospital, I'm not checking in with them to make sure that it's okay that I go. I'm going to the hospital. So she refused to sign the paperwork. Next thing you know, knock on the door. People showing up in actual virus stuff, and this is also hilarious. They're going to tell me that, this is okay. Just cloth over the face is fine. But they showed up in, full gear of what you're supposed to whenever you're dealing with a deadly virus. Put them on ankle restraints and everything else, and now it's like, you can't go anywhere. Walmart, starting tomorrow, they have even gone as far as to hire security guards to enforce this, that you have to wear masks to go in there. Now, here's the thing. I know people that are concealed carry, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, if you wear a mask into any building, that is a Class 4 felony. That's against the law. These quarantine and all this other kind of stuff, these mask wearing orders, these stay-at-home orders, all of this stuff, none of this is law. None of this was passed by upper and lower chambers. None of this was put onto the desk of the governor and signed into law. None of it. This is all executive order. That's all it is. It's executive order. Order of the executive from the state. None of this is law. But yet, here you have this couple in Kentucky violating this, and they're being treated as a criminal. They didn't do anything. They did nothing wrong. They broke no law. They didn't do anything, but yet they are being treated as a criminal under house arrest.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and Linda put in here, she's like, I saw the couple on the news, ankle monitors, that she was already being responsible by getting tested. Yeah, she was being responsible. She was already doing what she should have been doing. Hey, I don't want to get my loved one sick, so I'm going to test myself to see if it's okay that I go say hi. Can you guys tell that this is irritating to me?
Yeah. There's also somewhere else where the couple, they were going to go get tested. I guess they put their information in or gave them their information. Something came up within their family to where they couldn't meet that
criteria,
appointment date or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So they decided, we'll do it some other time. And then they get a letter in the mail saying that their test come back positive. And they hadn't even made it. They didn't even do the test yet.
Right. Now, here's another thing too, guys. All right. Now, we're talking about, the politicizing of all this crap. Now, we've talked about this in length on different shows. And here's, again, something else that is infuriating to me. Okay. Florida, they had, because with the testing and everything else, I mean, it's a lot easier now for people to get testing. They're opening the testing up for a lot more people, not just those whom, are having symptoms, showing symptoms, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all pretty, they've opened the door to allow a lot more testing. So with a lot more testing, you're going to have a lot more positives. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. We know that the new norm is coronavirus, COVID. It's just like the flu. The flu's a norm. Do we get all hot and bothered over the people that die of the flu? No. And it's a significant number. Don't believe that it's not. It's a very significant number.
40 to 60,000 people a year.
Exactly. That's a significant number.
Just in the U.S.
Yes. That's not even worldwide. Florida, here's one of the reasons why the numbers are getting high. Because with the test positives, they are also including in those numbers people who had, were getting the antibody test. They were including those in with the numbers as well. And one of the things that Florida was doing, now some of the other states were reporting like a 9% positive. But one of the things that Florida was doing, and Florida was not alone in this, they were only reporting positives. They weren't reporting the negatives. So they had like a 98, there was reports of 98 positive rates and 100% positive rates, as in every single person that they tested was positive.
Got something about that.
That's ridiculous.
Good state of Florida. Just this week, did you see where 3 labs in Florida were, I don't know what they call it, suspended or shut down or whatever, testing labs because they were double counting numbers. And they had to drop over 3,000, like 3,400 or 3,800, something like that, quote, positive cases. They had to take them off the rolls because between a little over 3,000 were either double counted or miscounted or were false positives or what have you.
And here's the thing too, guys. All right. I'm a fan of Gibbs. Gibbs's rules. I don't believe in coincidence.
Nope.
Okay. So the CDC stepped in and basically give Florida and some of these other states, they gave them smackdown. They were like, look, I mean, this is ridiculous. We know you guys are lying your butts off because we know that these are impossible numbers. We know you're lying. And that's whenever they released the whole, the CDC can't get these numbers anymore. They need to report directly to Congress. Really. Because the CDC isn't exactly following by your rules. They don't want to implement the fear that you're wanting to maintain up until the election. Mm-hmm. And then now we're no longer reporting to the CDC. Do you believe in coincidence? Because I really don't believe in coincidence.
Nope.
There's been doctors, and Linda, I'm sure you are aware of this, because this is something that Alex Exum of the, during Live Talk, I believe he talked about this, and I know this is something that he tweeted about, that the doctors have gone out public and stated that there is absolutely no reason why they shouldn't and can't reopen the schools. This needs to happen. They need to reopen the schools. Not just... I got a little bit more on this, but, reopen the schools. We got to do this. This is something that has to be done because the information on this is like under 17 years of age. is extremely unlikely that you're going to really even get sick. A buddy of mine, he pretty much had it. No, wait, he had it. His boy had it. His boy was only sick for like 3 or 4 days. That was it. Not even sick. He just basically had a little bit more severe than flu symptoms, and that was it. He's like 11, 12.
Something like that, yeah.
I have no idea how old he is. I forget. He's about like yay tall. 11. Yay old. About yay old, maybe. You know, this
10 going on. Yeah,
I mean, not like, you know, me standing, but him from the like right there.
Yeah.
Okay. He wasn't sick. He was mildly sick. And another thing that they say, you know, and those that have died from it has had pre-existing health conditions. They didn't die just of the COVIDs.
Right.
It was a stack on top of something that for the most part would have killed them within the next 2 years anyway.
Exactly.
It was an add-on. It wasn't necessarily the cause of death, you know, kind of like, you know, my father, he died of cancer, but it was the pneumonia that got him, you know, but the trophy didn't go to pneumonia. The trophy went to, you know, the cancer. Well, is that like a horrible way to refer to that? I mean, that's kind of morbid.
Yeah.
Man, I'm wow. There might be something wrong with me. Holy cow. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, a lot. Anyway, you know, so they're trying to say that, oh no, this isn't political. Yeah, okay.
Magically, November 5th, the virus will mysteriously go away, though.
Oh yeah.
But you know how that is. But like I said before, I mean, my boss had it back in December. I was sick.
Right.
I was sick. But I thought it was just my yearly crap that I always get. But I was sick. That was before they even talked about COVID.
Dude, there's even reports out that this has been here in an active virus since September.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, this isn't something that just came about, you know, magically right after the impeachment failed.
Right.
Okay, this has been around for longer.
And there was a post, too, that I seen that if you've been tested, if you've had the common cold or any related thing that's related to COVID-19, which the common cold is,
right.
If you have antibodies from the common cold or any of these other things, you're susceptible for your test to come back positive for COVID-19.
Well, because that's the thing. The test that they're using, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't exactly know how the newer tests are doing it, but at first, whenever they were first testing this, you know, the test for it, the creator of said test said that this should never be used for a pandemic type of a virus. It's not made for that. That's not what this is designed to test. Basically, the test was meant to gauge the response a body has to getting sick. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, if your body does what your body is supposed to do, you're going to test positive. And it wasn't just a body's reaction to COVIDs. It was a body's reaction to all kinds of things, not just the COVIDs.
Right. And after I seen that post, though, I went on the CDC website itself and did confirm that's exactly what it said on the CDC website. It wasn't just some random post that somebody posted.
Exactly.
It was right on there, right on their website.
And like I said, the person who made the test said that this isn't what this test is designed for. This should not be used for this. You know, the guy who made the test himself, you know, Howard put on here. And by the way, welcome over there in Facebook land. He said the COVIDs will only disappear, and yes, he put COVIDs, will only disappear in November as long as the Democrats win the presidency. I had a hard time with that one, but I love the Democrats. That's absolutely amazing, sir. I love that. That's awesome. I might actually use that.
I call them Democrats.
Democrats. Hey, it works too. Yeah. You know. All right, we're done talking about the COVIDs. We are going to move on. Actually, I gotta moving on up. I don't think there was anything else. He said he's on one show live and listening to another. He can't stop the machine. That's awesome. That is awesome. I do got one other thing that I want to talk about, and before we go to break. Now, I'm sure that you guys have heard about this. Okay, now this is actually from Clinton News Network, and the headline is, a bank is paying people to bring in their spare change to help local businesses amid the coin shortage. Now, here's my thing. Do y'all actually believe in the coin shortage? I have sitting right here in my possession, thanks to Mr. Ray here, who keeps an eye out for, this type of thing, a coin dated 1921.
I think it's 1821, is it?
Nope, that's a 9. 1921. Okay, so. Linda put in there, I have a butt ton of pennies if they want to add them to my account. Right. My point is, these things stay in circulation for quite some time. Now, granted, I don't believe in one instance of anything about a coin shortage, but then I thought about something. How long have we been shut down? How long has our economy been limping around and all this other kind of stuff? How long has this been going on? How long has commerce been hijacked by the Democrats and by all of this crap going on? How long? 4 or 5 months now? Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of commerce that isn't happening, a lot of coins that aren't changing hands. You have people getting paid. And, here's the thing, okay? But before you start, really? Okay. Before you start talking and complaining about the cashless societies, how are strippers going to get paid? Anyway, if sorry.
Really?
If that's what your complaint is, it's like, dude, holy crap. How many people actually use cash anymore? We already live in a cashless society. We really do. You got your debit cards and all this other kind of crap, and yeah, dude, really, you're going to complain now because they're like, oh, we're having a pandemic. We don't have change anymore. It's, holy crap, But there's a lot of things I want you guys to think about with this whole cashless society. I still use cash quite often. But there's a lot of times when I don't use cash. Now, I was getting my handy dandy vape juice just yesterday, okay? And I was informed by the owner of the store that Visa basically laid the smackdown on them by doing card not present transactions, and she was threatened with a $50,000 fine the next time she was flagged. Okay. I want you to think about that. And she informed me that this is something that wasn't just local to her, that this is happening. They're doing this to a lot of other people's. Okay. I want you to think about this. You order pizza. You call them up. What do? Card over the phone. Sign the little receipt, put in the how much you want to tip them. Okay. They can't do that anymore. When this is really going to take into effect on a larger scale, I don't know. She's already had the smackdown laid on her. And from what she said, this is going to be taken, this is going to expand. Not just her. That's what they told her. Not just her. This is everybody. So now you have people whom do cash payments over the phone. They can no longer do that as per Visa. Howard said, holy shit, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah. And I found this out yesterday. Now, I know this doesn't affect a lot of people, a lot of places, but, Howard, he's a co-driver. He's a co-driver. He's a truck driver like I am. We do that kind of stuff. You order out, you boogada boogada. Well, hi, Brandon from the Machine Radio Show over there in Facebook land. How you doing? Good to see you. So, yeah, cashless society. Now companies are being penalized for doing credit card transactions over the phone without the card being present. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Brandon put in here, cashless society is a horrible idea. You know, we already have one. Like I said, I mean, think about your daily transactions, the things that you do. Most people are using a credit card or a debit card anyway. You know, but again, though, think about this, though, too. How many people, you know, Linda put in here, you need coins for laundry and self-car washes. Yeah, you do. You need a butt ton of quarters for that.
Speaking of that, there was an article I seen yesterday about the Illinois tollway. Showed a picture. Must use exact change.
Yeah, I seen that too. And you know, but another aspect of that, you know, and you know, you're talking kids who, you know, mow grass, get paid cash. I mean, what is everybody going to have to switch to using Square? You know, do a chip reader or a card slide to get paid because you can't use cash anymore.
Chip in
I mean,
hand.
is that? Don't get me started on that.
Chip in hand.
But is that what they're actually going to go to now? You know, I mean, you look at, you know, you look at you know, lemonade stands. You look at, you know, Girl Scouts selling cookies in front of businesses. You look at a lot of different things. You know, we use cash a lot. Granted, we do. Now, are they actually pushing for a cashless society? But again, guys, you know, yes, there's a good possibility that there is a shortage for the reason I mentioned earlier. A lot of businesses have been shutting down. A lot of those, you know, spending has not been getting done. So a lot of that money is not in circulation and everything has been done cashless. For 4 months, most everybody's transactions have been cashless.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to have an impact. Impact on banks, impacts on a lot of different things. And yes, cash is absolutely king. Yeah, and it is just another way for government to track your money. But again, most people, they're already using it anyway. Linda put in here, passing the collection plate in church. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can do check on that. You can write checks.
Or text. Or online. You can give online or text to your church.
Right,
Some churches have that.
Yeah, some churches have that. Yeah. All right, guys.
That whole topic just doesn't make sense to me, though. Really.
No.
Get it?
All right, guys. We are taking a break. All right, guys. Just a couple minutes, and we will be right back. Maybe as soon as I find the right button. There it is. Do you work at any of the myriad of jobs where you might have to sit on your bum all day? Well, if so, maybe you know what it's like to suffer from the condition known as swamp ass. Well, if so, have I got the solution for you.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
That's right.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
You can use it indoors, outdoors, work or play, or on any occasion when you sit on your bum all day. Don't let your buns get red. Use anti-monkey butt powder instead. Available wherever anti-friction powder is sold. Welcome back. And I was actually looking for my anti-monkey butt powder, and it's Dave. Hello, Dave, over there in YouTube land. Good to see you, sir. How are you doing? It's been a while. It's been a while. And evidently, my anti-monkey butt powder is something that Vector had very nicely bumped off the table. He is such a turd, you know. He is definitely
Takes after
turd.
his father.
I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, what are we getting? Okay, we talked about him. We talked about Fuki or whatever the heck his name is. All right, let's talk about these wonderful. Linda put maybe Vector needs it. He might need it. All right, guys. This next article is from. Well, okay. There's some topic assists and stuff, and we're talking, you know. The protests in Portland, some of the stuff that has come out of that. And guys, I got a couple things. Okay, now one with all these protests and whatnot. This is the only country that I have ever known that is so great that even the haters won't leave.
Right.
Even people that are claiming that this country is so bad, they won't leave. This article from Town Hall, if America sucks so bad, you're free to leave, and you absolutely are. It's not like you're locked in here. Anyway, I did a goat. There we go. All right. Leave. Seriously. Get out.
Go to Venezuela. Socialism's so wonderful. Go there.
Yeah, go there. You love socialism. You love communism. I mean, there's all kinds of countries that has that, you know. But I read this, and I tell you what, okay, this article, this headline is going to make you guys' heads spin, you know. And hello, Dark Sage over there in Twitch, and he says he has an interesting political question for you guys. Well, shoot. Go ahead and give us that question. All right, so this article from The Blaze, and again, this is hilarious. This is funny. Afro-Indigenous non-binary local organizer calls for the abolition of the United States as we know it. Let me
A little slower.
Let me read that again. Afro-Indigenous non-binary local organizer calls for the abolition of the United States as we know it. Now, I've never heard of Afro-Indigenous. What the heck is that? Non-binary? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Regardless of your piping and plumbing, you do not claim any type of that.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can get it.
Linda put in here, and this is perfect. A who, what, did what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She. I have no clue. Afro-Indigenous, non-binary, local organizer calls for the abolition. I mean, I love that headline. I was like, that made me go, what? You know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
That is one of my favorite lines, Mr. Gatton of Kindergarten Cop. Great show. And I'm sure that if y'all have watched Kindergarten Cop, then you are perfectly aware of that, of which he is saying. Yeah. All right, so I got to read this from Dark Sage out of Twitch. He says, as a lifelong Democrat, I feel like I am being left behind in an ever-changing party, having crap. All right, hold on. Okay. Left behind in an ever-changing party, having grown up in the Nixon years, these liberal and progressive ideas the party is going towards makes me worried conservative Democrats like myself are being left behind or ignored in a party we once knew. Yeah, okay. Yeah. My question is, what should the Democrats do? Should they stay the course of liberalism and progressive ideas, or should they adopt a platform to include legacy Democrats like myself? So you're basically telling me that you are a JFK,
old school Democrat,
old school Democrat. And I'll tell you what, as a conservative, libertarian leaning conservative, I am constitutional conservative. Libertarian leaning constitutional conservative. Yeah, there we go. It's not a tumor. Exactly. Sorry. JFK was somebody whom I totally could have voted for. Okay. Because he had the Reaganomics, that was JFK's idea. Reagan just adopted him, Here's my thing, okay? And in all honesty, and great question, by the way. Great question. He said correct, Kennedy Democrat. All right, I kind of figured with how that question was. Your voice is being overrun by the more radicalized left, okay? But I really don't believe, after everything is all said and done, I really don't believe that your voice is the minority in your party. After everything's all said and done, I think you guys' voice is the majority in the party. A lot of people pretty much feel that everything of what's going on is just crazy town. Mm-hmm. So, I really don't think that you guys are really being ignored, yes, but your voice still counts because you're still the voice of the majority. If you know where I'm going with that, I hope you know what I mean. The problem is that because these voices are so loud, you have people like AOC, you have people like, we love Miss Potato Head here, no offense to Idahoans, but, we love the AOC because she's just absolutely amazing.
Gives us full of material.
She gives us all kinds of material. But her voice is so loud that, after everything's all said and done, too, they say that a lot of people that are that loud don't actually even cast their vote in the ballot box. So they're that loud in demonstrations, in, protests on social media, mainstream media, that they're still not even going to the ballot box. So the voice that matters is the voice that's going to the ballot box. And most of them still agree with the old school Democrat Party type of stuff. That's one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton didn't win, is because she didn't have the support of the base, and a lot of people that had that either went to Trump or stayed home. Mm-hmm. So, I don't want you to lose hope, and I can't believe I'm giving actual good advice to a Democrat, but anyway, I'm sorry.
I got something to add when you're done.
Okay. But, I really don't think that, yes, the voice of the radical left is a very loud one, but I really don't think that you guys are really being ignored on that. Just for the simple fact is, I think that, the majority of the people whom are Democrats agree with you. Now, what I really think you guys need to do is one of the things that, conservatives, libertarian, constitutional conservatives like myself need to do to the Republican Party, and that is we don't need to make another party. We need to take over the party that was supposed to be there to represent us in the first place.
Right.
So, take that as your, as my thought to you, take back the party, take back the party. Yeah, and he's saying, I'm not saying progressive ideas are bad, but I do think that they should dominate the party for decades to come. But I do not think they need to dominate the party for decades to come. I can read, I really do. I understand times change, the ideas with them, but older Democrats like myself do not want our voices eventually drowned out or not listened to anymore. Okay. So what was that point that you...
Well, you kind of alluded to this as far as taking back the party. Look at the Republican Party in the past 20 years, okay? People in our own party complain about the rhinos. They complain about the globalists. They complain about these, the corporate politicians that only serve themselves. What happened? The Tea Party was formed, okay? Is it perfect? No. There's different factions, different philosophies, but the Tea Party came out of that because they were tired of those groups of people within the Republican Party dominating, and it's the same way, just on the opposite side. So it took a while, but the Tea Party has grown in numbers. It has grown in influence. It has grown. It still has a long way to go. Don't get me wrong, and it's not perfect. But over the past 10 years, it's gotten big just within the Republican Party to where their voice now means at least something that people have to pay attention to within the Republican Party. It's not just the globalist no more. It's not just the corporate politician. They got to pay attention to us now. And as HoHO said, take back your party. Just a suggestion. For anybody out there that's an old school Democrat, you could do the same kind of thing. Call it the blue dog Democrat Party. Within your own party. Just like the Tea Party. Call it what you want, but take the same format as the Tea Party within the Republican Party and use it. Form your own little group within your party to get back to those old blue-collar Democrat ideas and take it away from these radicals. And, you're still in your Democrat Party, but like he said, that gives you an avenue to take back your party, and that's just my advice. It's just what I see. If it's working for the Republican side, it could work for the Democrat side as well. Granted, you got different views, but you can get back to that old school Democrat Party if you want to by doing the same format, I guess you'd say.
Right.
Just a thought, but
All right, let's see. Getting back into it. So, all these riots going on, and what's funny to me, not funny, haha, never mind. What's entertaining to me is, you've got all this stuff going on. You've got protesters that are, basically saying that they want the abolition of the United States, and that's not just that article, but that's many articles in here. And you have basically something that we have said needed to happen quite a long time ago, and that is the president taking control of the situation, laying the smacketh down, lay hands on some people.
Give slap.
Give smack some people. Squash this. And now you have people that are complaining about the use of force in Portland against the rioters. And I've not paid attention to a whole heck of a lot of what's been going on in as far as the response. Was it the basically the militarized police departments that are doing this, or is this, coming from federally? Yeah.
Their beef was that the federal officers were protecting federal buildings, and they went a couple blocks away and arrested some rioters, because I don't call them protesters, rioters that weren't near the federal property, but they arrested them anyway. And the mayor is all up in arms and threatening lawsuits and stuff like that because it wasn't on federal property. It was on city property. Well, sorry.
Well, and that's the thing, too. And we talked about this on previous episodes, too. The Insurgency Act, if I even said that right, says that the president has full right to do this whenever the governors, when the mayors fail to take control of their city and lay any insurgency down and stop it, squash it. The president has the right and the responsibility to do it, because here's the thing. If the laws are supposed to equally protect everybody, then why aren't these businesses being protected by the law? They're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. That's the society we live in. You don't like the law, then you need to elect people in there that will put the law in the way you want it. You know, kind of like people like Nancy Pelosi and all these other people that have been in Congress for my entire freaking life that want to go in there and they talk like they have no control over the immigration, over the, you know, how people are immigrating into the country. You know, they claim like, oh, we're powerless in this. Wait, no, you're not, because you write the laws.
Right.
You know, don't yell at a police officer for enforcing the laws whenever the laws were written by you that he's enforcing.
Yep.
You know, kind of like with the, you know, with the ICE people that were getting the smack down by Congress people, AOC, and they were like, oh, well, I'm going to yell at you on how you're, you know, carrying out the law, even though I'm the one that wrote the law that you're carrying out.
Ice, ice, baby.
Right. Anyway. And that also actually leads me to another thing.
And what's that?
As soon as I get to it.
Oh, okay. I'll let you get to it.
We talked earlier about having your cake and eating it too.
Cake is good.
Regarding something else entirely. Okay. Now, there's two articles I want to bring to your attention. Okay. This first one is from the Washington Times. Judge orders restart to DACA includes new applications, indirect pathways to citizenship. Okay. And then there's this article. Supreme Court sides with Trump on fast-track deportations. And that is from the Washington Free Beacon. And now, since there's a pop-up in my way, since I actually seen it, and it is relevant, this one from, I don't even know. I'm sure it'll tell me soon. Sun Sentinel, the Sentinel, whatever, blog, another pop-up. Real Republicans welcome immigrations. I'm sorry, let me try to read that again. Real Republicans welcome immigrants. And yeah, we do. So what do all these things have in common? One, you can't have your cake and eat it too. All right, so one says that they want to restart the DACA, but another one says that they side with Trump on fast-tracking deportations. Well, which do you want? Do you want one or the other? Which do you want? Conservatives, Republicans, really another freaking pop-up? We don't care about immigration. Wait, let me do a better job at phrasing this. We don't care what nationality the people who live here are. We don't care about your country of origin. What we do care about is that the people who are here legally.
Right.
We want the people living in America to be primarily Americans. That's what we want. We don't care that you immigrate here. We welcome immigration, but what we do not like is illegal immigration.
Right. Because
cartels do that.
To me, if you illegally immigrate, that's just a slap in the face to everybody who came here illegally.
You know, and that's the thing. There needs to be a reformation of, you know, the of the immigration system. I mean, yes, it needs to be reformed. There needs to be work done to it. But but people like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all these others that have been in office for freaking ever, you know, these are the ones who write the laws, and they're going to claim ignorance, stupidity, and helplessness on how these laws are carried out. It's like, you can fix the problem. You know, instead they want to do DACA. They want to do, what's that other amazing word that just welcomes everybody in and we're going to make them say, well, no, that's DACA, dreamers and deceivers and whatever. Whatever, you know, yeah. just saying everybody did that, ta-da, you know, wave a magic wand, Hermione Granger them, and the next thing you know, oh, you're a citizen. You know,
yeah,
that I have a problem with. Yeah. You know. Yeah, Howard put in here, I got no problem with immigration as long as they do it the right and legal way. Absolutely. You mean Chucky and the Bride of Chucky? Yes, exactly. Chucky and the Bride of Chucky. asylum seekers. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can seek asylum. You're supposed to do it the right way, not just cross the border and say, I think asylum. Ta-da. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. There's processes, procedures, stuff you do. Then you can seek asylum the right way, not jumping the border and going, ta-da. I mean, we have breaking and entering, but yet, just walking across our border is perfectly legal. No, it's not. And I just said it's not. Anyway.
It's not what?
It's not legal. So, yes, you can't have your cake and eat it too, and it ticks me off about that stuff. And, yeah, anyway.
Got that word on top of my head, but I can't think of what that
I know.
is.
I'm like trying to think of it too, and it's like,
it's like
it's
right there.
It's like right there.
Starts with an A,
crap,
or an E
it's
or
an
something.
A. It's an A. It's yeah. Not asylum.
Yeah. If you know what that word is, call
yeah,
the
if you
call
know
in
what that
number.
word, put it in chat. Call in. I don't care. Wow. Okay. So anyway, and since we're talking about Portland and Black Lives Matter, this is absolutely amazing. Okay. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there is a lady who numerous times have tried to cover up, paint over, remove the Black Lives Matter things in several other places, one of which being in front of Trump Towers, and she was arrested. And it's like, wait a second.
Amnesty.
Yes, that's the word.
Ding, ding, ding.
Exactly. That hurt. That hurt. Okay, so Dave put in here an interesting point, and we're going to talk about this. Why aren't those countries where people are leaving from do anything to make their countries better to live in so their residents don't travel miles to come to the U.S.? I'll give you one better, Dave. I'll give you one better. Why is it that we as taxpayers are funding aid money to go to these countries whenever their population are leaving those countries and coming here? Like Honduras.
Right.
Okay. We're giving aid money to help their residents, to make their lives better. We're giving them money. String free.
Yep.
China at least does it right. It's a quid pro quo from China. You want something? This is a sales thing. We're making a trade. You give us this, I'll give you money, I'll help bail you out. We don't do that because we're a bunch of stupid, idiotic people that just give away money because it's nothing anyway. We don't talk about that. So we just give them money and we don't expect anything in return. We don't even expect receipts to say that they spent the money on the right thing.
Because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't go to the people that it's intended for anyway.
Exactly. It just goes to line the pockets of the people who are in power. They're getting all the benefits. They're getting all the money. Their people are left in rags and ruins, and then they have to leave. So why are we giving them money to help the people that are migrating here illegally and are seeking asylum the wrong way? I have no idea. I don't know why I have no clue. Anyway.
Yep.
So this lady, look at Venezuela. Exactly. You want socialism? Go to Venezuela. It's a great model. And that's the thing, though, too. Even with Trump in office since 2016, we're still giving out money? Yeah, we're still giving out money. Because, think about it. The House of Representatives are the ones who have control of the purse, and that's Democrat-controlled, and that is also being controlled by people who are basically rhino Republicans, Republican in name only, and they don't stop. Granted, there's been a lot of progressive. Anyway, there's been a lot of betterness going on. There's a word for that. I am Englishing well today. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's still going on. I mean, he's made things better by leaps and bounds, definitely. But I mean, yeah, we're still giving money to, countries like that. I mean, but it's
as far as what he can do under his authority in the executive branch, he's making changes.
Yes,
but like you said, the legislative still has the majority of the power concerning those issues.
They have the power of the purse.
Yeah,
they have the power of the purse. Yes, he signs the check per se, but the check is filled out by Congress. And whenever he doesn't give them money, then they claim all kinds of stuff, kind of like
right.
Whatever country that was, that the stuff down in that one place where the stuff happened.
Yeah.
What country was that? Man, I'm having issues today. I am having issues. Anyway.
That's what happens when you don't do a show for a month,
Apparently I forget words.
Yeah.
Brandon put a good point in here. He says we should only be giving money to Israel. And what he means by that is we get a return for helping Israel.
Right.
Yeah.
Because really, in my book, they're our only real major ally that we really have as far as forgetting.
I'm sorry, what?
They're our only major real ally that we get, like you said, get what we give and versus what we get.
Yeah. And Dave put in here another amazing point. He says, well, I never hear him talk about it. And he talks and tweets about so many things, and I'm amazed I haven't heard about this. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, though, too. Mainstream media isn't going to give a positive of things that he's done.
Nope.
And they want all this money to go to all these different places. So moving on. So about this whole Black Lives Matter. So here's the thing. Or I'm sorry, this lady that was arrested for cleaning up the mural of Black Lives Matter. Here's my thing. So she got arrested for vandalizing a vandalism because vandalizing is bad. That's what she got arrested for. You're covering up a Black Lives Matter mural that was vandalism, but we're going to arrest you for cleaning up the vandalism stuff. That's what happened. Is that just ridiculous, or is that ridiculous?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, this isn't just from her, a lot of people has been getting in trouble for cleaning up graffiti, Black Lives Matter mural, all kinds of other stuff, been getting in trouble for doing that. And just, yeah.
One good positive note that I seen yesterday was, I believe it is in Washington, D.C. or somewhere. I think it's Washington, D.C. I could be wrong. A bunch of veterans went and cleaned up some war memorials that were vandalized.
Right.
They took it upon themselves to go do that, and that was, something positive there.
Right. And Dave put in here, he goes, okay, but controlling his Twitter, so he's surprised. Yeah, and I get that. I mean, and that's the thing too, man. I honestly, I don't listen to a lot of his Twitter because the president talks a lot of crap on Twitter.
I don't really use Twitter
that
much
I
at
really
all
don't.
anyway.
I mean, I don't listen to it a lot either. I mean, I use it a little, but I don't, that's not my social media place that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
I demonize me if you want to. I primarily use Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm a Zucker whore.
I really don't. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not a total 100% geek. I don't really understand Twitter that well as far as compared to some of the other platforms.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when I'm using Twitter, I'm primarily using it on my computer. I really don't like the interface, I guess, on my phone as much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, all right, where are we at now? So we talked about the Black Lives Matter thing. So, yeah, being charged of vandalism for covering up vandalism is asinine. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's a what? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, it's like I don't get that. So anyway, Let's see. Should we take another break or should we?
Yeah, let's take another break.
Okay, we'll take another break, and we got something else. Let me see what I'm going to do. AOC. Oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. These people. Yeah, I think that's going to be our next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
And then we'll talk a little bit about. We'll talk a little bit about some of the Trump stuff, some of the stuff that's been said, and I've heard this from numerous places, but it definitely cracks me up. Oh yeah, we're talking about her too. Anyway, guys, just a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. Let's play this one. Okay. Have you ever sat down on your throne just to find out that you are dangerously low on shift tickets, making it to where you have to make a mad dash to the store just to pick yourself up some? If this has ever happened to you, pick up the #1 most rated toilet paper found in Uranus and use what the professionals use. Angel Soft. See, I'm just not a fan of some toilet paper. Some of them it's like putting a pillow between your nice rosy. Others, like John Wayne toilet paper, it's like using sandpaper. But do what the professionals use. Use the type of toilet paper that is the Goldilocks of brands, Angel Soft. Available wherever toilet paper is sold. All right, welcome back. Oh yeah, Angel Soft, that's what I use. Good stuff. It's the Goldilocks. Anyway, so you guys know how I feel about the Second Amendment, about guns, all this other kind of stuff, all right? So this article, and I'm sure y'all have heard, you know, about this family out of Missouri, the ones that protected their home, and welcome back, Ray. The ones that protected their home from the would-be invaders and criminals and people that went through the gate of their gated community, destroyed their wrought iron gate, came onto their property, up the driveway, and this couple came out of their home with guns and said, you're not vandalizing my house. Right. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Right.
Whoopsie. Oops. So I'm sure y'all have heard about these guys. So this headline from Fox News, as soon as I figure out, Missouri governor says pardon likely as St. Louis homeowners charged. And then this one from The Blaze, which is basically the same one. Missouri governor says he'll likely pardon armed St. Louis couple if they are charged. Now, here's the thing, too, guys. Missouri is quite pro-gun anyway.
All right.
the county that I lived in, whenever the last county that I lived in when I lived in Missouri was Franklin County. Very pro-gun, you know. And even though they did not break any laws, even though they shown great restraint in not shooting anybody dead, I can't say as if I would have the same restraint.
I was just thinking that.
You know, I mean, Castle Doctrine, which does apply in Missouri, a butt ton of them, which is another reason why we need AR-15s, you know, which is not a military rifle, but at any rate.
I'm going shopping tomorrow, by the way.
Ooh, very nice. And how I put in here, they shouldn't be charged anyway, and they shouldn't be. They didn't do anything wrong, but yet they're being charged. Why? Because they stood up to the mob that is backed by mainstream media and the radical left. That's why they're being charged. But they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't break any laws. They did not do anything wrong at all. And like I said, I would not have shown their restraint. There would have been some people that would have been leaving in body bags.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, come on, you shoot one of them and the rest of them are just going to stay outside. They're no longer going to be coming in. And you've eliminated the threat.
Bird on the wire.
How many people broke into their property? I'm not even sure. Oh, holy crap. This one says that there were approximately 500 protesters that marched into the gated community. I don't know how many of them actually showed up, you know, in their yard, but 500 of them, holy crap. And they were St. Louis attorneys. Nice, you know, nice looking home. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah.
And they're Democrats too.
Yeah, and they are, you know, and this is actually what kind of cracks me up. It's like, okay, so yes, they brandished their weapon, but they were on private property, which was theirs, which I don't care. You know, as long as you legally own that firearm, they were on their own property. So even if they didn't have concealed carry, it doesn't even matter. Even if you aren't allowed to carry in public, you know, an AR-15 or any other weapon, you know, it doesn't matter because they were on their own freaking property. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Right? And yes, they should not be charged with anything. They had all their guns confiscated because they came in and confiscated everything. All their weapons were, it's like, why? They didn't do anything. They didn't shoot anybody.
And the prosecutor that filing charges is also a big supporter of BLM and all this other stuff, and supposedly got some campaign donations from George Soros Foundation himself.
Mm-hmm. But I want you guys to hear this, okay? They were arrested because they were caught on camera wielding guns to the mob on their own property. And the police came in, you know, the ones who won't do anything to help somebody who gets beat near to death from Black Lives Matter, from these protests, these riots, won't do anything. But yet, a couple on their own property brandished weapons to protect themselves from an angry mob of people who forcibly, I mean, did you guys see pictures of what their wrought iron fence looked like? I want to scroll down a little bit, see if it's in there. It's not, but they obviously tore the crap out of it. Like, it can't be used again. They've got to replace their gate.
Some were yelling that they were going to burn their house down, too. Mm-hmm. What would you do? Yeah,
they were threatening them, period. Okay, they did not shoot anybody. They did not, according to anything I've read, they didn't even fire the weapon at all. And yet, breaking no laws, the police came in and confiscated their weapons. How is that right? They exercised their Second Amendment, showing way more restraint than I would have. Broke no law, did not shoot anybody, was able to keep the mob at bay just by threatening to shoot them if they did anything. And the police came in anyway and confiscated all their weapons. This stuff has... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, this other article, and of which case, big surprise when you take a look at the temperature of everything going on right now. You know, big surprise. This article out of Breitbart. And like I said, big surprise. Report, gun and ammo sales surge amid push to defund the police.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Wild West, everybody. They put in here that entire story is crazy. Yeah, it absolutely is. And like I said, this is coming out of a gun-friendly state. I don't know what county they live in. I really have no clue.
St. Louis County.
St. Louis County? Mm-hmm. Okay. So a more liberal county. I was in Franklin County, which is like on the outskirts by Six Flags. I literally live 10 minutes away from Six Flags.
Wow.
Very gun-friendly area. You know, Linda put in here too, we have to take care of ourselves if we have no one to look after us. And yeah, you can't rely on the police anymore. You know, not only is it defund the police, you know, that you're even frowned upon by, you know, all these left-wing extremist groups. Sorry. You know, it's now considered white privilege to call the police if you have somebody break into your house. You can't do that anymore. Now they are attacking law-abiding actions from people saying that that's white privilege. No, it's not. Whatever. And yeah, the entire story is absolutely redonkulous. I mean, dude, I can't even fathom that entire thing. I mean, that is just complete and utter Bravo Sierra. That whole entire thing. Why did the police come in? Why are charges being brought up against them? That is complete. You know, they're not doing anything to the people who vandalized and broke into the property, but yet, you know, you stop the mob with a gun, not doing anything. And, you know, all of a sudden you're now, you know, the legal has become illegal and the illegal has been turned to legal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hope they get pardoned. And you said that the president himself has also said that, you know, he'll pardon him.
Yeah, I just seen that today. You know, when I was reading up on it. So.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't even have to be pardoned is the thing.
No, I mean what are they? I mean, really, what are the charges? You know, that's what I want to know. What are the charges? What are you charging them with? What can you charge them with? They didn't break any law. Nothing. And then there's this article from The Atlantic. The 14th Amendment was meant to be a protection against, well, it says state violence, but violence in general. The 14th Amendment is equal rights under the law. That the law is applied equally.
Mm-hmm.
Howard put in here something, and this is a meme that I've seen quite a few different times. You know, come to Redneck America, BLM, I dare you.
Did you see, on a side note, did you see where they want to take over Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to see that. That's really going to work out very good.
Right. Now, BLM has said that they're going to go to more rural America. I don't see it happening. For the simple fact is they know that in a lot of these Democrat-controlled cities, and they are Democrat-controlled cities, the BLM have the upper hand. you start going down into some of these other areas. You start talking to the guy from, what's that movie that Clint Eastwood was in, Gran Torino or something, the get off my lawn. When you come and attack the homes, residencies, businesses of people whom, want to be left alone, people whom spend all day sitting in a tree just to shoot an animal and take it home and eat it. I'm not a Hannibal Lecter, but hey, I understand. When that's what's going on, they're not going to come to those type of places and leave in one piece. It's just not going to happen. Right. They know they have the upper hand in places like Portland, Oregon, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, and all these other kind of places. They know they're screwed if they go to others where we take care of our own.
Yeah. College towns.
We take care of business.
Good.
Yeah.
Liberal cities like where colleges are and stuff, they'll probably go there. But
and there has been. I mean, there's been several towns within, just a couple hours of where we live, but hasn't been any here. We've had a peaceful demonstration, an actual protest, peaceably assemble. That's what the Constitution says you can do.
Right.
Doesn't say jack squat about being able to pillage, vandalize, destroy, beat people, and all this other kind of stuff to a bloody pulp and kill people, and it's okay. No, that stuff ain't going to fly here. They be in one place, one piece, but they leave in a black bag, right? Maybe.
A lot of pig farms around here. Oh,
exactly. That's where I was going with that. I plan on buying a wood chipper very shortly. He can do all kinds of damage with one of those. I'm not buying it for that purpose, but I'm country folk. I just saying.
They old don't coal mines around here too.
Right. I know all kinds of shafts and different places. Anyway, my point is, I just don't see that happening. Okay, I really don't. They're not going to get a foothold. It's not going to go any further than that, and that's why. It's also the unwritten or the written reason, the talked about reason of why we have never been invaded. It's the same reason. A gun behind every blade of grass. Over 300 million guns in this country.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many rounds of ammunition. Yeah. Anyway.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that too. Heck, why not? This headline actually kind of cracks me up. And here's the thing. I'd love to go to something like this. I mean, I know it's probably never going to happen, but I'd love to go to something like this. Comic-Con 2020 is virtual and free, of course. How to watch the SDCC and what to expect. That's one of the things that, not that story necessarily, but it's like, okay, guys, you've had these things with the, with the COVIDs and whatnot, a lot of things shut down, a lot of summer camps and everything else, vacations and everything that they're saying are, that are being shut down and people can't go to. And then you have stuff like this. Comic-Con 2020 is virtual. We have uncanceled summer camp, those type of things. It's like, you can't claim that it's summer camp when it's virtual.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you're going to charge, granted, this is not what the thing says, but you're really going to charge somebody to virtually go to Comic-Con? Really? And the sad thing is there's people that would pay for that, though, too. I mean, that's actually the sad thing. People that would pay for that. Are you kidding me? I mean, all you got to do, if it's Comic-Con, watch YouTube if you're actually interested in it. You can't charge for that. In the actual Comic-Con, dude, just watch YouTube. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that, record what's goings-ons in these places. I know there are all kinds of other stuff, pictures and videos and everything else. You know, yeah, Linda put in here, you can't get English. Yeah. You can't get autographed stuff from a virtual Comic-Con. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, that kind of stuff, it just like, how can, yeah, whatever. The Walking Dead probably going to happen this year. Not like I care. I don't watch The Walking Dead. Oh, I know. I don't watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I got bored after about the first season.
I actually got four seasons into it. Wow. I didn't realize I was 4 seasons into it.
Yeah, I watched like here and there, maybe first few seasons. You know, like when nothing else was going on, I was really bored, and it was on. And
I've already watched NCIS like 3 times, so why not give The Walking Dead a shot? Here's an article that should be a huge shock to anybody that lives in Illinois. Illinois Democrat Speaker of the House implicated in massive bribery scandal. And there is also this article. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did his ugly mug go? There it is. And also from our lovely J.B. Pritzker, Gravy Sweat, Jelly Bean, whatever, J.B. Pritzker, feds seek tax records on properties, including Pritzker's home. Mm-hmm. I've seen this and I had to laugh because, you know, y'all know how we feel with everybody in Weaponized Sloth Productions about, you know, J.B. Pritzker. He's just our favorite indivisible. You know, he's going to go to prison because that's just kind of an Illinois tradition.
One way or another.
You're governor, you go to prison. We've got like, what, 2 or 3 in prison right now?
Recently, you had, Rod was released.
But he still went.
He still went.
Okay.
And Ryan and Rod in the past 20 years.
Right.
2 of them. JB will be 3.
Mm-hmm. He'll definitely be 3 because he's going. He's done all kinds of shady stuff.
One way or another.
Steve put in here. He goes, "I am shocked. How dare he?" Oh.
But you know what this all reminds me of though is
how dare you?
The Untouchables and Al Capone. Okay, let me play this for you.
Okay.
Everybody knows what Al Capone did, right? What he was a mass murderer. I mean, he murdered, he schemed, he bootlegged the whole 9 yards. Never got charged with any of that stuff. What did he finally go to prison over?
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion. Do you think they really cared about his taxes?
Nope.
No. They just wanted something to send him away for all the crap that he done. And I think this is the same way that
he kept enough distance between him and the crime. They couldn't attach anything else to him but tax evasion.
Yeah. I think the feds are doing the same type of thing with Madigan and JB. They know they might not be able to get them on all this other stuff, but they're going to do the same thing to them as they did to Capone. We'll find something to get you on and make you pay for all the other crap we can't prove. And I can't wait.
Well, I mean, think about this. And oh my God, I even talked about this earlier today. You know, the Ford. You know, Ford's releasing a new Bronco.
Really?
You know, yep. O.J. Simpson is excited.
Yeah, I bet he is.
He is. That was the same thing with O.J. Simpson. You know, because they knew he was guilty. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit was a line of crap, and everybody knew it. He was guilty of sin of what he did.
Right.
What did he go to prison for all those years for? What, some type of traffic crap?
Burglary.
Okay, yeah. So they threw the book at him and then some. I mean, in all honesty, they violated the statutes, the law statutes of the maximum sentencing for what he went to prison for. They threw the book on him and added a butt ton to him because they couldn't slap a guilty verdict onto him because he killed his
ex-wife.
Well, wife and lover, ex-wife now, obviously, killed them right after the Rodney King.
Yeah.
They couldn't convict him. They were afraid of the backlash, you know, the public backlash that's why he got off of it. But that's also why they threw the book on him on a lesser charge and overcharged him. And yeah, same type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I mean, some of the things, if you guys have forgotten, some of the things that they have, that he has done was removing toilets from some of his property so that this way it lowered the property value of it. So it would be a lower tax on some of his properties. That's, just some of the things that, lovely Gravy Sweats Pritzker has done.
So what are you in for, Governor? Toilets.
Shit hit the floor, man. It didn't hit the fan. It hit the floor. Anyway. Wow. Oh, what else we got? Oh, yeah, here's one. This one, and I'm not actually going to be able to talk about, the lovely Miss Potato Head because, yeah, I just don't see the point talking about her. Anyway, an article that I read, which I had to absolutely laugh about, was crap. Where did it go?
Down the toilet.
Maybe.
JB's got it.
Here we go. This article from the New York Times, or I'm sorry, from the Washington Times. Really? Now, stinking pop-ups? Will you stop it? How Joe Biden lost a staunch political ally to President Trump. Who did he lose, you might ask? Well, I'm glad that you did.
Who?
He lost the police union. With his plans to defund the police, the police, the po-po, the 5-0, with his plans to defund the police, he lost the police union as a Democrat donor. Now, here's the thing that I'm actually kind of curious about. I loved your facial expression on that. That was great. I wonder how many other unions that the Democrat Party is going to lose. It's a valid question. The teachers union, no. I don't believe they're going to be losing the teachers union. I don't see that one happening. Because it seems like they're really bowing down to a lot of the requests of the teachers union, so I don't see them losing the teachers union support. But when you've got, because one of the things they're wanting to do is put back into full force some of the regulations that President Trump has removed, and basically killing the oil and energy industry in the U.S. So how, like the what are some of the other unions out there?
Automotive.
Well, automotive, yeah, but
truckers. What about
we don't really have a union. Not really.
Teamsters.
Teamsters, some of the machine, unions out there. I mean, with some of the stuff, because whenever these guys start put back into place some of the stuff that they want to put into place and fully implement a lot of the things they're wanting to implement, like the Green New Deal, how much support from some of these other unions are the Democrats actually going to lose? Because these unions, they stand to lose a lot. Because whenever you leave a state like New York and you go into a state like Tennessee, which is a right to work state, which, if the unions are so star-spangled amazing, then they should welcome a right to work state, because, well, we can now show you as a side-by-side comparison how awesome and amazing it is to be part of the union. You would think that they would welcome that, but they don't. So whenever all this stuff happens, how much support are they actually going to lose? What do you think?
They might lose a lot, especially any unions that this shutdown crap has affected. New construction, steel workers. I mean, the whole anything that this COVID lockdown crap will, takes away from. If I was a union person, I wouldn't be supporting these people who support these,
Exactly.
whatever you want to call them,
Exactly. And Linda put in here, any first responders union will probably say bye-bye because they are tied in with the police. And you're right. I don't know if there is any. Is there a firefighters union? I'm sure that there is.
Here, yeah, there is. They're separate unions.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're being tied in, and that's the thing, too. And I mean, I know that some of these first responders have been, getting a lot of backlash because they're refusing to go into some of these places because the cops aren't welcome. They're not going to go in if you can't secure the scene because they don't want to get, any, lose their life or get, beat up for assisting the wrong person, heaven forbid. Mm-hmm. So they're not going into these places. And it's like, this is a world you're asking for, guys, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that one I'm just like, Since we brought up teachers, this article from the Washington Free Beacon. Virginia mandates slavery lesson for kindergartners.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't that be in history class? Because that's what it is, history. Nobody in the United States of America right now is a slave.
Indoctrination.
Exactly. And this actually brings me... Oh, that hurt. This actually brings me to a point that I was kind of alluding to bringing up earlier. And that was regards with the whole, education. We need to bring our kids back to school and whatnot. Exactly, Linda. How is a kindergartner going to even grasp the concept? They're still learning letters and numbers. Exactly. I mean, it's stupid what they're doing. But here's the thing, though, too, okay? More than any other time in, I would say, at least the, which isn't as big of a thing whenever we were going to school, because we're like old. Parents now have been more involved in their learning. Kids are now learning math instead of Common Core again. Children are learning history instead of, whatever is passable for history now. Parents are more involved in our children's education, more so than probably any time within the last 20 years, if not 30. That's another reason why they are crying so hard to get the schools open back up. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised about, with all of the evidence, with everything that they know about the virus, why aren't they opening up the schools? There's a lot of other countries out there that never did even close the schools down. The education system, they never shut it down. Mm-hmm. China's one of them. China never closed the schools down. There was no need to. I'm actually kind of surprised that they have to push so hard to open them back up because we're more involved in our children's education. Children are actually learning things again. Do we really want our kids to go back to school? Yes, absolutely we do. Because you just want to beat the crap out of little guys at this particular point in time, I'm sure. I know some parents. It's like, get away from me. They got to lock themselves up in their room to get away from their kids. Like, I don't want you around me. Anyway. All right, that's it on that. I'm just,
Wow.
Yep. So now slavery is going to be taught in kindergarten, which is amazing. Oh, yeah, I forgot about her. I haven't talked about her yet.
Epstein's girlfriend?
Yeah, I can't even tell you how long she's even been in the news. I'm like, yes, I've been hearing her name.
Surprised she's still alive.
I am too. I mean, did you see the tweet that was, or at least the article that was, or whatever it was, the meme, whatever it was that was put out. I feel sorry for the family of Who's Her Face on her tragic death. And, the Hillary tweeted out, and then Bill's response was, "Shut up, Hillary, that's tomorrow."
Yeah.
So this headline from the Daily Wire, this chick, Maxwell, thinks Epstein was murdered in jail and fears the same fate.
Yep.
She knows too much. That's the thing. She knows too much. So she'll be committing suicide later this week.
Then it'll be labeled COVID-19 death.
Mm-hmm. Suicide that was COVID-19 related, I'm sure.
Yep.
She was, if you guys aren't aware, she was somebody who was directly involved with some of the stuff from like 94 to 97. Yep, 94 to 97.
Yeah,
So she knows some of the ins and outs and the dirty little secrets.
She lured the girls in, and then Epstein took over. Literally. Yeah. She's not a saint or anything.
But yeah, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she'll disappear.
Mm-hmm. No, she'll be suicided.
And that brings me back to our last topic between JB and Mike Madigan too. Who's going to get arrested first? Because they both have some dirt on the Clintons. I'm just saying, they both have dirt on the Clintons. I'm just saying, if you're listening, Hillary, just okay.
JB and
what's his face?
Black Dragon Radio. Hello over there in Spreaker land. There's so much bitterness in 2020 that I've seen it ever on this kind of level ever. You're right, man. I mean, there's so much. I mean, we are more divided now on so many different levels that it's not even funny. Left and right, with political, with social, with, racial. I mean, there's so much divide right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. But that's the thing too. Okay. Why do they put labels on people? Economic labels, racial labels, religious labels, with political labels. Why do they put all these labels on there? So they can divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. That's what they're working on doing. And that's left and right. It doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat. Why do they hate Trump so much? Because they don't control him. He's not a political person. That's why they hate him so much. It's got nothing more to do with that. Or nothing more to do than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of hatred. Yep, Linda, you're absolutely right. A house divided against itself cannot stand. They're doing all this stuff.
There's a purpose behind it all.
Something bad's coming, guys. I don't know if you're aware of this, and I didn't want to necessarily take this path, but there's something coming, guys. There is a huge change coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's no escaping it. And the sad thing is, no matter what we do, it's going to benefit those that want it to happen. And that's the crappy thing. No decision you make is going to be against what they want. Dave put in here Civil War, yeah.
Like we always said, when the first domino falls, the rest will fall with them.
Mm-hmm. Linda put in here, who has a spaceship to Pluto gassed up and ready to go? Dude, I'm ready. Let's go. Space Force. Yeah, he says exactly, I'm just doing my best to stay positive. I'm trying to avoid negative due to me having bipolar disorder. Yeah, dude, I feel for you on that one.
And to Linda, I just hope before the crap hits the fan, we at least get our shirts in. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And Dave put in here, he goes, it's time to start doomsday prepping. These politicians need to change the mindset. Dude, you're right. But more than that, I mean, it's mainstream media. Because mainstream media is the one who is
fueling it.
Yeah, they're throwing the fuel on the fire. And it's a sad thing that they are, but they absolutely are. They're throwing the fuel to the fire. If if mainstream media actually did their job, report the news, unbiased, factual based, so much of this wouldn't be going on.
Right.
I mean, their job is to inform the people, the electorate, the us, the masses, if you will. Mm-hmm. Their job is to inform us so that this way we can make an informed decision on elections. You know, if you're looking at the political aspect of it, that's what their job is. Unbiased. And he put in here too, he goes, Black Dragon Radio put in here, when I was growing up, things never got this out of control. Yeah. Dude, I've said it before, man. I don't recognize the country anymore. Do you?
No, don't recognize the world as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I don't recognize this anymore. This is so, yeah.
It's like a bad movie or a bad dream. Or both.
I've watched Monty Python movies that made more sense than what's going on right now. Dude, Quest for the Holy Grail, I understood that.
Call the church police. The church police.
Throw out your dad. We are the knights of the say nyeh. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, nyeh.
Do you have any cheese? Cheese? Anyway.
Dave put in here, he goes, maybe we need to stop watching the TV and get out and talk to someone. You know, you're right. You're right, Dave. I mean, we you know, and Ray and I talked about this earlier today. This kind of stuff makes me, it infuriates me, you know, because we have a computer in the palm of our hands. Most everybody out there. Why are you believing the lies whenever you can look up the information for yourself? Be responsible for the information you're vomiting out to other people instead of listening to the lies. Research, look it up, own the information that you're giving to people. But people don't want to do that.
No.
Either they're too lazy, they're locked in their ways, whatever the case may be. They are invested, so invested into the lie. You know, kind of like the Matrix. Like, take the blue pill, take the red pill. Mm-hmm. You know, blue and red, right and left, Democrat, Republican. Take the pill. One will, you know, just let you believe the lie. The red pill, the blue pill. Believe the lie, or you can take the red pill and see just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
People are too afraid to look at how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Because they're so dependent on the Matrix. They're dependent. They are depending on the lie. Dependent to the lie. There's words in there. The English,
They want to stay in their box that they've been programmed to be in.
Ignorance is bliss, because the Matrix says that steak is amazing.
Get up in the morning. You go to work. You have your 2.5 kids. You got your car, your house, and your hubby.
How do you have half a kid? I'm sorry.
He's short, but
what? Oh my God.
You started it. You went there.
I did.
Anyway, but you have your 2.5 kids, your house. You've been taught to, okay, your kids go to school, you go to a job, your 9-to-5 job. You come home, you make dinner, you watch a little TV, you go to bed, and you get up and do it all over again. You're programmed in that box. That's what your life is supposed to be. And people do not want to get out of that box. People do not want to step out of their comfort zone. People do not want to know what truth is, because it will shatter what their box is. There's a good meme a while back on Facebook. Do you want to know the truth, or do you want to be right? Most people want to be right.
Most people want to be right.
They don't want truth.
Dave put in here, he goes, I was talking to a friend of mine, and it seems like a lot of the news media bias really came into its own after Tim Russert died and after Peter Jennings died. When did they die? Actually, I don't remember when they died. And also Linda put in here, I thought Chicago in 1968 was bad, but this makes that look like playtime. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Black Dragon Radio also put in here, he goes, mainstream media brainwashes everyone, and they don't even realize that the media is not all truth. Mm-hmm. And, dude, I commend you, Black Dragon Radio, for that. He says, I've done my research. I do research on everything all the time. You need to. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and Dave's looking up when when Tim Russert died. Do you have any idea? I don't have any idea.
I'm not without guessing. I want to guess maybe 2010, but I'm probably wrong. Peter Jennings, I know he was alive during 9/11, so I think he died a few years after that.
Okay, Dave put in here 2008, and yep, June 13th of 2008, and also Peter Jennings, which actually comes into the same thing, 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, looking at the media, look at who their advertisers are, their where they get the paychecks from. Look at their advertisers, and
China.
then who owns those companies and who do they support?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, far left radicals.
All right, and thanks, Dave. He was the moderator of Meet the Press for 16 years. That's why I knew those names. Mm-hmm. And Linda put in here, big pharma and major advertisers. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that is really all I got. Putting here a 2-hour show, I kind of figured that's about what it would be. You know,
I forgot to tell you this, to look it up sometime. I got one piece of tech geek. You know how I used to talk at the end about some tech geek stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something you guys might want to look up. I think it's really cool. I don't know if you can bring it up on Google to see an image.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Google aerogel. Huh? Aerogel. Areogel. Aerogel. One word. It's a new material that's...
Is that anything like Astroglide?
Better.
Aerogel. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It has the density of the weight of only 3 times the weight of air. It's 95% nothingness.
The world's lightest solid.
But it can hold the weight of regular solid objects. It showed up like a dinner plate on this.
World.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's weird. I haven't really delved into it a whole lot, but from what I've seen, it's weird. It's geeky and something to look at. And I mean, it holds solid. You know, they hold a solid object on it. It's weird,
dude. Okay, guys. For those of you watching, check out this picture. Let me get my ugly mug out of there. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Look at that. Sitting on top of one of them poofy things that you shove in somebody's mouth whenever they're exhaling. Mm-hmm. It's a small disc of this substance sitting on top of, one of them things that you blow.
Dandelion seed things. Yeah.
Oh, that's what those things are?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, those, and that's what it's on. That's pretty cool.
I can't see too far away from what you're seeing, but are there any other pics of more solid objects sitting on top of that material? Like heavier type stuff, like a plate or a box or anything? I seen one when I originally looked it up.
I'm looking.
But I seen that the other day, and I was like, wow. It's like 95% nothingness.
Yep.
But it can support weight. Something to look at, Aerogel.
Yeah. I'm not seeing one with a plate on it.
Or anything heavy.
Here's this one with and that's a crappy picture. Like it being heated up with, it's got a blowtorch underneath it, and it's got crayons laying on top of it. I don't even know how accurate that is. Oh, wait, let me get my ugly mug out of the way.
Mug out of there.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Other pickers, I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just something neat to look up, and when you get time and you're bored, look up Aerogel.
Aerogel. All right, guys, that is all we have got for today. So I see it looks invisible. Pretty much, it does. Some of the pictures on here, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I thank you guys very much for participating. I thank you guys for all the input and awesome, amazing comments. I do thank you all very much for tuning in and whatnot.
Yeah.
So y'all have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night, sleep. I got to get to the music. Good night, sleep tight, and if the bed bugs bite.
Good thing you're not in charge of the nukes. Really. I mean, you would have blown like 4 or 5 friendly countries up by now.
I hit the wrong button.
Sorry, England. We didn't mean to nuke you, but he just hit the wrong button.
That was supposed to be my right finger, but it was my left finger, so it kind of went, yeah.
We didn't need Canada anymore anyway.
All right. Y'all have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night, sleep tight, and if the bed bugs bite, well, by golly, bite them back. This has been The HoHo Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.